Hello everyone, this is Lynn from Yoga Story and welcome to our online membership where we will be posting one 30-minute class per week on our private YouTube channel page so that you can practice. We will be saying what level is suggested for each class and any props or walls that you might need. Of course, you can do some of these classes at a higher or lower level, just meaning as in if you just started practicing yoga, you could do an intermediate class so long as you are aware or have knowledge of how to alter the different poses, the different intensities for your level. Same thing if you are more advanced or want a more advanced physically intense class, then feel free to take these classes up a notch. If you've practiced for a while, you know how to do that. As with any physical activity, our disclaimer, please make sure that you are cleared by a physician. If you have any physical issues, you'll want to make sure that they have given you the okay to do this. You do so at your own risk. Please practice safety above all, etc., etc. Okay. So today's class is going to be just an intermediate flow. If we do any themes, we will also let you know what the theme is. I have a block just in case. I always like to have a block nearby. And then if you want a longer class, then feel free to add at the beginning. I always say to add sun salutations, sun A's and sun B's, or more warm-up on your own. If you're more practiced, you know how to do that. Or more stretching at the end so that you have more than 30-minute class to practice to. Okay? So let's start in child's pose to begin. Begin to turn on the breath. Let your mind and your body come to one physical location, right here on your mat. It can't be anywhere else. Soften your jaw, soften your shoulders. And then rock up to tabletop. Like you woke yourself up. Shoulders over your wrists. Settle your hips back over your knees and start to take some circles. A little side stretch. Curl the toes under and then lift your knees just a couple inches up off the mat. So feel the belly automatically try to brace you, and instead of bearing down and into that, I want you to pull in and up to create lightness in the belly. Spread the fingers and grip with your fingers on that grippy mat, and then downward facing dog. Pedal at the feet. Lift up on the toes and then shift your hips to the right, keeping your shoulders nice and stable, so don't let your shoulders twist with your hips. So open up through the side body and into the hip, and then we'll go to the other side. Then back up to center. Let's go all the way top of the mat and into ragdoll, pouring your weight over your thighs, letting your head drop, letting all your expectations drop as well. Maybe shifting the weight a little bit more into the balls of the toes. Giving your low back space by bending your knees so that we're not hunched and constricted in the low back. Release your ragdoll, heel toe your feet to touch. Fingertips to the shins. Lift your heart up halfway. Pull that belly in again, just like we did a moment ago, so that our spine is lengthened. And then fold forward, breathe out. Rise all the way up, clasp the hands overhead, and then press them to prayer at heart center. Just shut down the eyes for a second. And even though we're not in person and I'm not here with you, we can still practice with that same energy and ascending it through time and space, cultivating that same intention. to bring everything together, physical, mental, and emotional. If you want to add a little extra intention to your movement today, go ahead and do that. However you want to move, whatever characteristic you want to embody, or maybe something that you just simply want to take off the mat with you today. Blink the eyes open, inhale, hands overhead, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, nice long spine, high plank, and as per usual, hold in your high plank. If you take my classes, you know we like to hold so we can fully engage the body, because we want the entire body engaged anytime we go down to low plank, so we have to practice it in high plank. So up on the tippy toes, pull the kneecaps up, squeeze a little through the bottom and pull through the belly, press away so the shoulders are active. Breathe in, then exhale, rock forward, tippy toes, elbows by the side, just halfway, and then upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, curl the toes under. I like to press back to my thighs, then reach up with my hips. Right foot between the hands, low lunge. Rock out through the hips. Spin into straddle. Spin, 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 spin. Little bend in the knees to give your inner thighs and your hamstrings some space. Maybe rock it out from side to side. Spin back, right foot is forward, right foot is forward. Inhale the hands overhead, hug the right hip in, spread all your fingers, active arms, but no tension in the shoulders. Breathe in, Chaturanga as we exhale. Stop in that high plank just for a moment, activate the entire body. Low plank, just come in halfway, right? We're not dipping too low in the shoulders. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. All right, left foot between the hands. Rock it out. And just kind of give your little hip a check, pull it in, hug it in. Now spin, 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 straddle. Spin, spin, spin. Hello. You can rock it from side to side. Or maybe lift up a little bit, stretch through the low back, pull the belly in, and then take it forward again. Right, spin back into that low lunge. Set your feet all the way up into high lunge. Remember, active arms. Pulling the shoulder blades down the back, hugging them in towards the rib cage. Breathe in. Chaturanga, exhale. Maybe pause for a second. Set up that nice active body halfway down for low plank. Breathe in and fuel back up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. All right, bend through the knees as we bring the big toes to touch. Hug the kneecaps together so the inner thighs are kind of sealed. And look between the thumbs. And we're going to get ready, kind of like a little cat. You don't have to wiggle your tail, but you can. Then we're going to lightly, as we can, hop without letting our hips dip down towards our heels. Keep the hips up high. You do that by using your belly muscles. Then absorb the shock with your feet. Halfway lift, forward fold. Reach all the way up, chair pose. All right, get down nice and low. If you feel a lot of tension in your shoulders, take your arms wider. Don't just take them out of the equation. Let's keep them engaged. Just take them wider. Hug the shoulder blades down. Pull the belly in. Breathe in. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right leg high. All 5 toes facing the ground. So just kind of peek. All 5 toes facing the ground. Good. Knee to the heart. Press away from the mat. Step between the hands. Let's lower the back knee. Lift all your hands up. All 2 of them. And then bring the hands to the knee. Straighten the arms. Woo. Back. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Sweep them back up overhead. And let's take a twist. Left elbow, right knee. Press the palms together. Lift the chest towards the fingers. All right, back up through high lunge and curl the back toe under. Float the knee up off the mat. High lunge. Breathe in, warrior two. So use a full range of motion in the arms. It just helps with the joint. Instead of just coming from here and doing this, can we slowly, like we're moving through mud, peel it open. Settling into that nice deep lunge. See how strong the arms feel here. Reverse, keep that depth in the right knee and spin it open and into goddess pose. Goddess pose is just a great way for us to move from one side to the other because it's open hip posture. So it gives us a really good opportunity to transition. Back of the mat, high lunge. Inhale, exhale. Stand up on the left foot, bring the right knee up to your chest. Airplane. Lunge with a twist. So drop back, lift the left hand. Warrior two. All right, repeat. So lunge, stand up, airplane. Ooh, wobble, wobble. Twisted low lunge. Hug the left hip in. That's where we want our awareness to be, that left hip. Warrior two. Okay, lunge, stand up, airplane, twisted low lunge, warrior two. Good. All right, goddess pose. Choo-choo. Hands to the thighs. Rock it out. Let's take one shoulder in, the other shoulder in. Okay, warrior two, just reset to the top of your mat. So we're on right foot forward. And we're gonna pour our weight. I'm gonna kind of move back a little bit so I don't move out of frame. Pour our weight forward. So reaching forward, kind of like that bad yogi, right? We don't wanna be here in a normal warrior two, but we're gonna do so we can lift the back heel and then try to make one solid transition. If you drag that foot a little bit, that's fine. We're gonna work towards lifting it strongly from this back hip pocket. Got it there, half moon. That's where we're going, okay? So meet me there. Flare that foot. So all 5 toes on this left leg. Really strong. Maybe even take this hand and kind of, muscles strong, okay? Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so here we go into chair pose. Feet to meet, nice and low. Remember the arms. We can give ourselves some space. It is okay to feel your back muscles working here. We don't want them stressed, so pull the belly in to help them out. Get low, hands to the heart, twist right. Then back up through center, hands to the heart, twist left. Back up through center, breathe in, fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Strong lift with the left leg. So same thing, left side. Draw the knee to the heart, press away from the ground to give you more space. Step lightly, drop the back knee, lift the hands. Hands come to the knee, straighten the arms, press away. Then bend the arms, get a little deeper. Straighten the arms, press away. Bend the arms, get a little deeper. Last time. Straighten the arms, press away. Bend and get a little deeper. Hug the midsection around you as we twist. Palms to touch. Press this left hand strongly into the right. Let the chest rise as you wring it out. So you should really feel a strong contraction around your midsection to help protect the low back. Hands overhead. Back toe curls under to lift you high. Adjust just a little bit there. Warrior two. Goddess pose. Swing it around. Okay, remember we can get low. Let's settle. Mudra. Heels. Squeeze. Everything is a nice energetic bundle in our thighs, our hips, our belly, our shoulders. Heels down, mudra released, hands to the heart, pivot, back of the mat. This time our right foot is forward as we come into airplane. So we can stand up first and then kick it back. Focus is right here on that right sitting bone. And we go to our low twisted lunge. Low twisted. Hug that right hip in. Boop. Warrior 2. Good. Go through that 2 more times, nice and slow. So lunge to transition to stand. Kick back to airplane. Find something to look at as we drop it low and twist. Warrior 2. Transition to lunge. Step it up, back and into airplane. Twisted lunge. Warrior 2. Good. Spread those fingers. Get the depth. Goddess pose. And we take it back to Warrior 2, top of the mat. I'm going to step back some. Remember, we want this right leg not to drag. We really want to lift off. So use maybe a little spring in those toes to get you to a half moon with a strong lifted right leg. Here we go. Yeah, 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 yeah. We got it. Woohoo! Spread the toes. Spread the fingers. Everything is active and wrapping around the bones. All right, feet to meet in chair pose. Go right into awkward pose. Heels up. Fingers forward. Pull it in. Focus. Should be right between those thumbs. All right, tip it forward, split the knees, crow pose. Heel. Heel to butt. Heel to butt. Low belly pulls in. If you drop out of it, come back into it. Strong Chaturanga arms. I really do not have to bend my arms so much to make it to Chaturanga, guys. You do not want to dip too low in Chaturanga. We're going to shoot it back. Strong legs. Hiya! Up dog. Or just step it back. Downward facing dog. Woohoo! Pedal it out. All right. Let's walk all the way to the top of the mat. Let's do a little bit of balancing. Inhale all the way up. Hands to the heart. All right, I'll turn to face you. We're going to stamp down through the right foot. Left side comes up into tree pose. Hug this section around you so that everything kind of draws upwards without coming into the shoulders here and creating tension around the neck. That unencumbered flow of energy from the foot to the crown of the head. Because if we're tense, that cuts the energy off. All right, let's go to extended leg raise. So knee up first, hand to knee, or draw it down, peace fingers, big toes, trying not to move the gaze. Lift the chest, don't round the low back. Open to the side. There we go. Yes. Breathe. It's a reminder to myself as well. Hug in and release. Good. Woo. All right. Move to the other side. So left foot stamps down, right foot draws up, tree pose. Left side for me is a little wobbly. That's all right. I know that I need to work on this hip muscle a little more. So feel your front 2 ribs kind of hug together. That creates that lightness in the upper half without tension in the shoulders. Move into extended leg raise. So hand to knee, or peace fingers, big toes, straight out. Taking it out to the side. Hug the outer hip in. How about we take a fun transition here? Ready for fun? We're gonna go to Skandasana. So we're gonna release this foot, but keep it lifted as we step and lunge into it. Okay, so right knee is bent and our left leg is straight. And then I'm going to shift over to the other side. I think I did this. Good. Back up through center. All right, so another straddle. If you are working on a headstand, this is a good place to do it. Otherwise, you may just want to continue to work on the inner thigh depth, or just feel like I need to get down, let's see if I can get the crown of the head on the floor. Or clown pose, where we balance our knees on our triceps. This is also a great place if you're working on some puppy press, that you can puppy press from here. I am not so great at that. Woo! All right, let's meet at the top of our mat. So spin, 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 spin. And we'll step into plank. Hold here, moving down to our forearm plank. So feel the inner elbows hug together. The kneecaps lift, the belly knit. Fix the gaze between the thumbs, spread the fingers. Press the top of the head, the back of the head straight up. Five more seconds. And slowly, slowly, slowly lower down to the belly, stack the forearms, and then just give yourself a good little wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right, now if you have this block, we're gonna use it. If you don't worry about it. If you don't have it, just pretend you have one in your hands, okay? So lengthen through the legs. Straight legs, pointed toes. Lengthen through the arms. Forehead down. Reach the arms forward. Squeeze everything into an imaginary line in the middle of your body. Then very softly lift the legs. Hug the inner thighs together. Try to soften the low back. Just broaden the low back. How about instead of soften? So we got to use those muscles. We're using everything in the back of our body. Woo. Release. Those are hard. All right, let's take it behind. Adjust my microphone here, make sure you can hear me. All right, so interlace the hands behind the back. Don't lock the elbows out. We want to keep a soft bend as we lift up. Point the toes. Allow the back muscles to work. Fix the gaze like 6 to 12 inches in front of you so the neck is neutral. Lift through the thighs, hug through the thighs, and then release. Shake your booty out. Curl the toes under. Set the hands. Go straight up to plank. And then downward facing dog. All right. Right leg up. Through the middle. Back up. To the right. Tap. Back up. To the left. And then fall in triangle. Lift through the hips. Peel the heart open. So we have left wrist, heart, right wrist. Hand down, three-legged down dog. Step and spin open. Warrior two. Making our way to triangle. Don't lock, okay? Carve out the hips, keep some softness in the knee, then come down. Send the left hand up. And even if you want to use your left hand to kind of give yourself some feedback, see if our ribs are down as opposed to up, press them down. All right, pull yourself up. Pyramid, bump, widen, bind. Right foot is forward. Lengthen, lead with your heart, lead with your heart, lead with your heart. Release through your head. No, Lynn. I'm glad perfection is not something that I'm too bothered about. All right, if you have a bind, release it. Take it to the inside of your right foot. We're just gonna step forward, step forward, inch forward. Inch the back foot back. So now we're in a nice wide lunge. Drop the back knee and come into lizard. Yes, love lizard. So I'm gonna keep this front foot active. So press, if we've got it flared open, press into the edge of the foot. Lift through the hips a little bit so that we're not sagging and collapsing through the front of the pelvis. We want a little lift. We want the opening to come from activation through the foot, the knee coming out and pressing in simultaneously so that we feel the safe opening in the hip. All right, foot flat, walk it to the center. Kind of walk it back a little bit, heel towards your butt, so that when you can hurl the back toe under, you can tilt it straight up and into standing splits. And then of course, always, if you'd like to take some split hops. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, rise up, bow forward. Halfway lift, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Left foot up, knee to the heart. Left foot up, tap the left tricep. Left foot up, cross it under, extend it, stack shoulder, wrist, heart, wrist. I got that in the wrong order, but you know what I mean. Three-legged down dog. Sweep it. Step and open, warrior two. Straighten, carve it out. Soften through the left knee. Pull the right ribs in. Inhale up, turn towards the front of your mat, bump your back foot up. Try not to fall over this time. Bind, stamp down through that left foot to stabilize. Pull the left hip in and up. Lengthen through the heart, then release through the head. Release the hands. We're gonna kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle our way into lizard. Remember that? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And we're there. Everything that we did on this side, on the other side, we want to apply to this side, just keeping in mind that it might feel different, and that's okay. We may have to adjust and that's okay. All right, bringing it back to center. As we wiggle it to the center of the mat, start to wiggle the heels more towards your butt, and you can be past the ankle, that's fine, because we lift and straighten, it'll automatically stack up. There we are. And then we can stay here, plant the hands. If you did the handstand hops on the other side, be sure to do both sides so that our hips stay even. Try to create as light as possible. Straight, strong arms. All right, forward fold. Bend through the knees, have a seat on the ground. Come all the way to seated. Straighten out the legs, and then bend your right leg in. Janusharasana or seated tree. And I'm going to take a variation where I twist to the side. Right hand is going to rotate around my back to find the crease of my left hip. Peace fingers going to find my left big toe. I'm going to keep the straight, strong spine, but rotate open, and then allow my left arm to help bend me to the side. I'm going to pull myself back up, rotate back to the center. I'm not going to let go of my left leg. Instead, I'm going to extend my right and grab my right piece. Fingers to my big toes. Drag the heels back and lift up and into a boat. Extended arms, extended legs, belly in. Wide-legged boat. Lift the heart. Back to our extended arm boat. And remember, bend your knees as much as you need to. So you don't want to compromise the spine just to get a straight leg. That's not worth it. And then see if we can drop it. Drop the hands. Keep the legs lifted. Got a little bit of shaking, that's okay. Toes flared, fingers flared. Nice active legs. And then slowly back to a seat. Right leg extends, left leg pulls in. Right arm is going to go, left arm around the back to find the right hip crease. And then just begin to turn yourself from the navel. Right piece fingers, right big toe. Nice, strong, straight spine just bends to the right. Back through center, extend both of your legs, come down to your back, bend your knees, bridge pose. So you want to hug the shoulders together, keeping space at the throat. Your hips don't have to ratchet up really high because that can put a lot of stress in your low back. Just find that point where the legs engage, hugging inward without collapsing the knees. Gaze straight up. And then if you'd like to take it up into wheel, if the shoulders will allow, press up to wheel. 5 good breaths. Meet back down on the back with your knees together and your feet wide. Gentle on that SI joint. Then allow your knees to go to the right with goalpost arms. Gently windshield wiper your knees over to the left. Going slow so we don't pull unnecessarily on the back of our sacrum. Especially like I know after I've had my baby, I have a little point there on my PSIS that just gives me a little pressure. So I don't want to go super fast or put a lot of pressure on it. And then we're going to settle back on the hips, take happy baby. Begin to smooth out your breath. Release the feet. Take any last position that you need to take, and then you can extend out into Shavasana. Again, focusing on being here now, with your mind and your body in the same physical space. Your mind isn't off somewhere doing something else. Your body is soft and relaxed on the mat, allowing the ground to lift you up. And feeling the skin with your mind's eye and the life that kind of bubbles below the surface, the flow of your blood, the flow of the breath. The strength that lies in the very deepest part of you. You can stay here as long as you want, or you can begin to move around. Roll to one side. Press up to a seat. Just wherever you land, bring the hands to your heart. And just remember this feeling of wholeness, completion. Be grateful for your practice, for your body and your breath. Namaste.